What is it about this matchup that you guys seem to play them so well, and you seem to be like the one team that kind of makes Tampa make mistakes? And
Yeah, I mean, I think um, we're in a division, so we're very obviously familiar with the style of play. I think we match up well from a personnel standpoint in coverage and against the run. So I just think we're built to match up well against this team. It's always been really good games, and we always feel pretty solid about our game plan going into it. But they're still a super talented team that you got to show up and win those matchups. But we feel like obviously over the last few years that we match up well on paper.
Now, what have been your thoughts on Leonard Fournette? Looked like he really just had a resurgence almost in his career.
Yeah. Well, I think it's when you watch them play. There's certain games where Tom Brady and all of the receivers and Gronk and all these, they get kind of the attention because they can at any point in time spread it out and throw it all over the field. But when there are games where if they're turning the game over, if they need to gain control of the game, they begin to start to run the ball into some of these split safety looks. And Leonard Fournette is downhill. He's running through tackles. He's finishing runs, falling forward. And that's keeping them ahead of the sticks, allowing them to slow the game down, get control over it, and especially late in games. So, and if we look back at the third time we played in playoffs last year, Leonard Fournette was a big part of the difference, why that game was different than the first two. And so, you can't put all your focus just on the pass game and Brady and the receivers because he's a guy who's coming on, especially late in the year when bodies are getting tired. He seems to be getting stronger and really becoming a bigger part of their offense.
Leonard seemed to be, and I don't know how much you can really pay attention to other players like this because you got your own stuff, but Leonard did seem to be languishing before he went there, and then they seemed to. Do you have a sense of how they were able to play to his strengths and kind of cause him to?
Yeah, I don't know about before this, before he got to Tampa, but I think when you look at what they're doing, it's a nice compliment to his skill set, to be honest. He's not the workhorse. He's not having to run into, 9-man boxes because your quarterback can't throw the ball. And so with space, now all of a sudden this is the back that we've seen before. He was always the focus of the offense, so defenses were going to focus more on him. That's hard for a running back to get loose with, but in this offense, it's a great compliment that they have to their pass game to be able to have an interior run game, a back that can still hit home runs if he does increase the defense. And like I said, it seems to get stronger as the year and the games go on.
Do you think Brady has a good feel for when the formations are favorable to get the ball to him?
Well, I would hope so. He's been in the league for however long. I think he does know, what looks are good to run into, what looks are good to pass into. That's constantly a cat and mouse game that you got to play with him because he's patient enough, to run the ball for 3 or 4 yards over and over again, if that's what's going to win the game. So, for us, you can't come out and just play one thing. There's no such thing as making Tom Brady left-handed. He knows how to win and control the game based on whatever they need to win. So for us, we're going to have to be able to come out, start fast, probably make some adjustments, be able to hold up in the run game, but also hold up in the pass game and keep the ball in front of us.
Hey, Malcolm, with all these COVID cases breaking out around the league, has Sean put even more emphasis on just the importance of staying?
Well, yeah, I think everybody's kind of just alarmed, obviously with another variant coming out and things spreading, especially in the league. And there's a lot of debate going on, about testing frequencies and things like that. So until all of that gets settled, I think everybody's just kind of on a higher alert, being a little bit more careful. And that's not just here. You see that around the league. There's teams that players have put in their own mandates that they're putting masks on and things like that. So it's one of those things that everybody wants to make sure that you're available for your team to play in the games. We don't want to run into a situation where we have to postpone a game or cancel a game. That's really the worst case scenario, and we're trying to avoid that at all costs.
You all are very rarely underdogs. I mean, you all have been favored almost the whole time, probably even back to your Philly days.
Mm-hmm.
What's it like to be an 11-point underdog in a game?
Well, I mean, I didn't know we were that far. I didn't know we were underdog until you said it, so I don't really pay attention to it. In Philly, I was used to being an underdog pretty much every year. I think we play better from that from that standpoint, to be honest. Especially this year with just the guys that we have. it's not. I think we've gotten used to that space of where we are, you know, in the season and in our record. You're going to be the underdog, but I think that takes all of the pressure off of us, right? Understanding that, you know, we've got our own issues, but the one thing that we don't have to do is you don't have that fear of falling from the top when you're not up there, and so, you know, we got nothing to lose and everything to gain, and that's a good place to be at this point in the year.
Does Sean play into that at all? Like, I remember reading at the Super Bowl, I don't know if you remember this or not, maybe he didn't say, but I thought I read a quote where he said, it's great when you're the underdog in a game and you think you've got the better team. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it is good. You know, when you feel like you can match up with your opponent and you're an underdog and all the pressure is on them to perform, it allows, you know, your preparation to be, you know, a little bit loose. You can come out and play, you know, without the fear of, again, you know, having an upset or laying an egg. Not to say that Tampa's not going to be prepared, but for us, at least we don't have that cloud of pressure hanging over us. We just prepare, come out, nobody believes in us anyway. We're going to have fun and compete.
Is there anything to this rivalry why it's gotten so emotional in the game?
I think the talent between the two teams is, you know, as good as there's ever been. And whenever, you know, the talent rises, the competitiveness rises, the stakes rise, and so does the rivalry. So, you know, we look at this division and the success we've had in the division for a long time. That's something that I know motivates Tampa and other teams in the division. But at the same time, Tampa being the Super Bowl champs last year, there's a lot on the line, at least from a prize standpoint. And then obviously playing twice a year just adds a little bit of fuel to it.
Do you remember much about the end of the last time you played them in the Dome? Like, what was the scene on the field? Or does that stuff ever carry over, even if it's 6 weeks later or whatever, or 7 weeks later?
You mean from this year?
Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't have nothing to do with me, so not really. We played a lot of games since then. It was obviously a good win for us, but, you know, we'll see him again, obviously, this week.
Do you talk much on the field or not?
Not anymore. I used to. I'm trying to reserve all my energy at this point in my career.
CJ do it all?
Yeah, we got enough talkers on the team. I do a little bit, but yeah, we've got other delegates for that.